Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Thursday, April 10th, 2025. Back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Y'all see those two champions right there? Again, hold on. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. April 10th, 2025, back with another episode. Now, as y'all know, we got this tariff trade war going on. It's us against the world, in the words of Tupac. Me against the world, baby, which is America. We taking on the entire world, and we are winning. Despite what the American-hating liberals try to tell you. That's why I'm here, to be a counterbalance to the bull that they're telling y'all about what President Trump is doing with these terrorists and stuff like that. If it was a bad idea, I would say it. And I would be like, man, Trump killing us. Don't be fooled by the temporary pain that we're going through right now, and that we may continue to go through for a little while. It's all part of the fight. We are in a war. We're in a battle. It's supposed to be tough. That's why nobody want a battle, because it's hard, okay? But we have a goal. Keep your mind on the end game. Now, with that being said, you must realize as we're taking blows, we're also throwing blows. We're not just taking punches. We're throwing punches, and we're throwing some haymakers. And China getting hit hard. He just announced, President Trump, a 90-day pause on everybody else we were going against except China. And the reason for that pause, no matter what the liberals tell you, he was losing, he was messed up. The 90-day pause is because all those other countries got on the phone and started calling and said, hey, let's talk. So he announced the 90-day pause on those other countries because they didn't retaliate against us. They are willing to negotiate. So that's a victory. No need to keep shooting at them. They throwing up the white flag. China, on the other hand, they want to be a little more stubborn. Some people will cut off, what's the saying, their hand and spike their face, whatever it is. In other words, their pride and ego will sometimes cause them to destroy themselves. And that's what China is doing. China is destroying themselves by going against America. Because, unlike the other countries that threw in the white flag and said, hello, we don't want no smoke with America when it comes to these finances, because we need American dollars. The saying goes, money and power. Whoever has the money, that's who has the power. America has the money. America does all the buying around the world. We buy everything. Everybody around the world needs our consumer. We are a consumer nation. What good is a product if you don't have nobody to buy it? So every product being sold around the world, we are the ones buying it, America. Which is why we are so in debt. As American people, we just love to shop. We love to spend. I'm guilty. So therefore, any country that want to stay in business, they need our business. But China, on the other hand, they gotta save face. They gotta look all puffed up and proud like we're in a ride, we somebody. We can go up against the big bad America. No, you can't. Somebody done fooled you. America been doing this thing longer than you, China. Y'all just arrived to the dance. We've been dancing. So, China got to get spanked. Do not listen to these liberal, Democrat, shield, TDS having, whatever I don't know what they are. Oh my God, it's the worst decision ever. He destroyed it. He gonna kill the American. Oh Lord. I'm here to tell y'all, that's not true. China is catching hell right now. They're not gonna tell you that. The liberal media not gonna tell you that. China is struggling. We are crippling their economy. They need us more than we need them. Why won't the mainstream liberal, whatever you want to call them, media tell you the truth? They only telling you our side, what we dealing with. The stock market is going down. Housing prices. America, we screwed. America is screwed. They will not tell you the whole story. Yes, we're going through some tough times right now because of this trade war. Yes, it's going to be a struggle for a little while because of this trade war. But they cut the story out right there. They refuse to tell you what I'm about to tell you and what I'm about to show you. They refuse to tell you that, hey, even though we getting hit, they getting hit harder. They left that part out. I'm not. We are winning. Yes, we are taking on fire too. Yes, we getting shot at too. But we winning. Yes, we're in a fight. We're in a boxing match, and our opponent has thrown a couple of punches and landed. Yes, they did. But we're about to knock them the F out. Ain't that how it go? It's about who wins the fight at the end, not about the first, second, third round. It's about who wins the fight, not about who get a few punches in. China getting a few punches in. But we about to they on the rope finna get knocked the F out. Liberalism is a mental disorder. Liberalism is a threat to America and our survival. They must be stopped. They are lying. I'm exaggerating. They're exaggerating. Oh, America, we just ain't gonna make it. Oh, this is just what they doing. China is destroying us. Not true. We would not crumble without Chinese products. We just switch to somebody else. Mexico. You know there's a lot of stuff in America made in Mexico, right? You know Mexico manufactures a lot of stuff, right? You know we have a lot of Mexican immigrants over here in America now building houses in 2 days, right? Nobody on this planet right now works harder than Mexicans. No disrespect. Props. We working some out with Mexico, Canada, Vietnam, all of other places. We do not need China. China needs us. Hold on.
1 in 5 young people can't find a job. The property market is teetering on the edge, and unlike the rest of the world, China has deflation, which is terrible for growth.
Trading is slowing down, and people are saving their cash, saving their money, rather than going out to buy things, to have fun.
Hopes the economy would roar back to life after China lifted its extreme COVID controls late last year have been dashed, and with it the prospect of a financial shot in the arm for the rest of the world.
You have an economy that is no longer growing as much as it was, a government who is much more strapped for cash.
Key to China's woes is its enormous property sector, worth around a quarter of GDP by some estimates. A deepening slump has battered real estate giant Country Garden, which this week posted a record half-year loss and warned it could default on its debt. And shares in its rival Evergrande fell almost 80% when it resumed trading in Hong Kong after a 17-month halt.
For Australia, I believe that people will be asking whether the downturn in Chinese property market will affect commodity demand.
There's been a number of high-profile visits to China. Foreign Secretary James Cleverly became the first senior British minister to visit the country in 5 years. And the US Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo has just spent 4 days there trying to revive frosty relations.
The US-Chinese economic relationship is large, vibrant, and dynamic, and that benefits both of our countries and economies, and that benefits the world.
The signs of weakness are concerning, but China's economy is still forecast to grow by about 5% this year. That's a lot of money for countries like Australia to tap into, but it's a challenging environment for businesses to navigate.
Right now, the investment environment in China is really deteriorating for foreign firms.
But at the same time, many countries started to realize that, a complete decoupling is really not a solution.
And the uncertainty surrounding China's sputtering economy will continue to be felt around the world. Kathleen Coldwood, ABC News, Taipei.
China is struggling. China is catching it. China cannot win a trade war with its biggest customer. China cannot survive without the world's biggest customer, the world's biggest buyer. Everybody around the world wants our business. Why isn't the media telling y'all that? To where nobody wants to lose America's dollar, the money we spend. Nobody wants to lose a customer like that. They're not telling you that. Those people are not trying to lose our business. They were bluffing when they were going to act like they were going to stand up against what President Trump is doing. They had to act like they were going to fight. You ever seen two guys arguing, or two kids, like you was a child, they be arguing, both of them arguing back and forth, and you looking at them like, he don't want to fight. He just arguing. But you can look at him and say he don't want to fight, but he got to make it look like it, so he won't get beat down by the dude that really want to fight. You got two dudes, two men, two women, two kids arguing on the playground or at school, at work, wherever. At the club. One of them really want to fight. One of them about that smoke. And the other one ain't. But the one that's not about that smoke can't let the one know that is about that smoke know, hey, I'm scared. So he got to pretend like, hey, I want to fight. I ain't scared of nobody. But inside his chest, his heart beating like that. But on the outside, he got to keep up this facade that I ain't scared. I'll fight anybody. All along, I hope, like, Lord, I hope somebody break us up. That's what the rest of them countries was doing. They didn't want to lose our business either, but they got to act like, they can't just let Trump punk them out. Mexico, Canada, all of them. Can't let you punk me out, Mr. Trump. So I got to look strong to my people, act like, yeah, we going to fight back. We ain't putting up with this crap. And turn right around and put up with this crap when they saw Trump wasn't bluffing. They was bluffing. They know they can't make it without our dollar. China can't either. Watch.
And China's consumer prices fell into negative territory in February, marking the first deflationary trend in over a year. The National Consumer Price Index descended 0.7% year-on-year, reversing a 0.5% gain in January. According to the Chinese National Bureau of Statistics, and on a monthly basis, CPI fell 0.2% compared to a 0.7% rise in January. Now, the decline was driven by weaker food, tobacco, and alcohol prices, underscoring concerns about sluggish domestic demand despite Beijing's effort to stimulate growth. Now, China has set a GDP target of around 5% for 2025, but faces headwinds, including weak consumer spending and an escalating trade dispute with US President Donald Trump's administration. Now, in response to the slowdown, Beijing's lowered its annual inflation target to around 2%, the lowest in over 2 decades. Now, suggesting that authorities are prioritizing economic stability over rapid price growth. However, investment and investors remain skeptical about the effectiveness of China's stimulus measure, as deflation could weigh on corporate profits and further dampen household spending. Experts now say that with global trade tensions on the rise and consumer sentiment faltering, China's path to economic recovery remains uncertain.
As I always say, to get some ass, you got to bring some ass. You want to fight me? Just remember, you're going to get hit too. Remember that. If you going up against a lion, a gorilla, you're going to get hit hard. China, you ran up on a gorilla and didn't know it. And now you're getting pummeled. Liberals, shut up. To the rest of us, don't listen to them people. Hang in there. Yes, times are hard. We're trying to fix this. It was hard before President Trump got in office. Don't act like it just got like this. He's trying to fix what was there when he showed up. And this is what's going to take to fix it. Yes, it's going to be hard. We're going to have to struggle a little bit. If you ain't willing to fight, sit down and shut up. And keep struggling. You have to fight back at some point in time. You can't just keep letting people F over you. Fight back. That's what America is doing. We have a fighter in office instead of a coochie. China gonna lose. If they wanna disappear, let them. I don't care. Contrary to what the liberals would want you to believe, we don't need China for nothing. Get it? Got it? Good. Down goes China.